got Benelohim with us today, as responsible for game design, game mechanics. I think it'd be nice to we just hopped off a call as well about like an hour ago, and we came up with some pretty good ideas for the future of like mini games and how we want to deal with emissions and kind of stuff. So take it as like a insider information, I guess.
Hello. Yep. Let's have a chat. Oh.
I'll go through some questions as well later on, but I guess for now we can just talk about the game ideas that we went through earlier.
Right, you should start.
Yeah, I'll start. So basically, I guess one of the major things that we've seen from the past is that. Hold on, just need to check that if this is recorded. Okay. Yes, so this is recorded. Okay. Anyways, I guess one of the major things that we've been seeing with Harmony projects so far is the idea of locking rewards and locking reward tokens. I don't think that's a really great way to, I guess, limit the dumping, I guess, of tokens. I'd say majority of projects lock their tokens because they're afraid of the locking. Oh, sorry, afraid of the fact that if a whale comes and they dump their rewards, market's gonna go down and stuff, yada yada, and people are gonna panic sell, and then the project's pretty much never gonna recover again. I do agree in the sentiment that panic selling will be a pretty big deal and pretty bad if we don't cater towards how we want to fix it, or like the ideas that we want to, I guess, reduce the way of it happening. I don't think rewarding it with stablecoin, it's gonna be like, I guess rewarding with stablecoin would probably be the optimal way to, I guess, to fix this problem. But I guess being a individual project or being a play to earn, how are you gonna accumulate those stable coins? And I hear you maybe in the sense that we could earn this through like NFT sales, we can earn these through like secondary market sales, things like that. But I guess without having a large capital like big AAA companies have, I think it's quite a difficult thing to make a project that rewards stablecoins.
Yeah, rewarding with stablecoin also makes sure that if we reward enough, we're just going to be depleting our development fund at some point, and anyone seeing that we are rewarding people with stablecoins, they can just come in and exploit the system, and we won't want that.
Yeah, I do think that with stablecoins, if we're emitting stablecoins, because it's already so easy for the person who's earning those stablecoins to be transferring it to fiat, the fact that I don't think a lot of people will be holding, will be playing the game. They'll probably just cash out at like whenever they have earned that stablecoin, because I don't know. It also limits a lot of the ideas that we have in terms of how we can have an upgrading system within the game and stuff like that. So to further on what I was talking about, instead of locking tokens, I do think a better way or a more healthier way is to limit the amount of tokens that you can earn in a day in a meaningful way. So the way that we thought about this and the way that we wanted to take on this challenge was that, for example, if you wanted, okay, so the context here is that each dingo you will have will have the ability to, in a sense, specialize in a certain, I don't know, action. Yes. So, for example, we have our theme is heavily centered around drugs, centered around, you know, I guess violence in the sense of like weapons and stuff like that. So one dingo could specialize in, herbs and stuff, and the other in metals to, I don't know, create weapons or something. This is all just very loose terms at the moment. But imagine, to create drug A or drug B or drug C, you need different ingredients. So for drug A, it'd be ingredient ABC. Drug B will be D, E, F, and then, so on and so on. And then, so to, get those drugs, I guess, to create those drugs, you'd have to go out of your way in the world, in the open world, right? In our open world, go around, look for these drugs. So they're probably going to be spawning at a certain location. So if you think back to MMOs such as WoW or such as RuneScape, they have these nodes, like a spawning nodes, to get like those herbs or get those materials. You'd go there. You can AFK your dingo there. So for example, you can do it actively, which just means leaving your game open. They can get their rewards, or you can just put it there, like, I guess, in a way, staking your dingo to that node. Okay, once you stake your dingo to that node, you get X amount of material per hour or per, day or per second or whatever the emission rate is. Once you get those materials, you go to your, I don't know, like a chemistry lab or something, right? The chemistry lab is where you're going to synthesize all those ingredients together, all those herbs together, so that you can get drug A. And what we're planning to do is, for example, in a day, maybe you can have a maximum cap of, for example, you can only create 5 of these drugs a day. And that means you can only sell 5 of these drugs a day. So you can go to the Dingos marketplace, which is going to be, within the game. There's going to be a house, I guess. The way you'd see it is, it's going to be the Dingo project buying your materials, and we're just going to burn it. We're not going to have a use for it, so we're just going to burn it. So you come into us, say, okay, today I synthesized drug A, 5 of them. I'm going to sell 3 of them, and it's going to be sold to the Dingos marketplace at a fixed price. The Dingos marketplace is only going to give you X amount of DG tokens per drug A you create. And obviously, when you make drug B or drug C or drug D or whatever, it goes like it's gonna scale where the higher tier drug that you're selling to the marketplace, the more Dingo tokens you can get. There will be a cap to how much you can sell a day to the marketplace to prevent like omega dumping by someone who's created, because like in the long term, what we're seeing is that efficiency is going to go up. The time to take to create one drug will reduce, and so if we allow you to sell as much as you want, it's going to be a problem in the long run. But initially, it shouldn't really matter because you can only create so much. And then you'd probably want to be selling your most valuable drugs, and then those that are like really cheap or like really basic, you probably have a different use for them. And then one thing that we also talked about is that, for example, if I have material A, material B, material C to create drug A, let's just say it takes 2 hours to synthesize, So you get 1 material each, and then after 2 hours, it becomes a drug. And that drug you can bring to the marketplace, sell it for DG tokens. And I think like the major part of all these kinds of games is like a upgrading system, right? And that also is a way to kind of like prevent people from wanting to dump or wanting to, just get out of the game. I think this keeps people playing because it's a visual change. It's it's like a goal for them. Like, this is something that I want of a game, like a goal in mind. I want to improve my earnings. I want to be, like clicker games. I want to get those really, really big numbers, or in those MMO games where I really want those big damages so I can do, a new raid or whatever, right? So here, what we're trying to emulate is that, okay, so once you've created drug A, let's just say, you can sell it to the marketplace. Okay, let's say it's a fixed rate of, I don't know, 5 digitokens, right? That'd be, you have 10 of it, you have 50 digitokens. And let's just say it costs 50 digitokens to upgrade your chemistry lab. So 50 digitokens, maybe plus an additional 5 of the drug A, and then 10 of each material A, B, and C. So that means you'd have to grind out for at least, assuming that we're printing 2 drug A's a day. So that means you need 2 times 25. So you need 25 days to get 50 digitokens. And then you get another extra 3 days to get that extra 5. No, what am I saying? No, 2 times 5. You need 5 days. You need 5 days so you can sell for 50 digitokens. So 5 days plus 3 days, so 13 days. And then give or take 8 days, right? 10 days, I'd say. So it takes 10 days initially to upgrade your station. And for example, you can spec in your station to, for example, give higher quality drugs, I'd say. So instead of being able to sell it to the marketplace for a value of 5 digitokens, you'd be selling it at a value of 6 digitokens. Or you can have a speed up upgrade like any other, it'd just be a 10% speed up. So instead of taking 2 hours, it'd take, I don't know, 1.6 hours, like an hour, 50 minutes, something like that. Or you can choose something like being able to increase the quantity of how much you sell. Instead of saying, okay, I have a limit of selling only 5 drug A's a day, this time I can sell 6. And with this, we want to add an element of player economy. So instead of just saying, okay, like currently, in DFK, where they sell the fishes, they can sell their, I don't know, the weeds and like the DFK eggs. Apart from the DFK eggs, none of them are really valuable, I'd say, because there is no use for it. Right? People are just selling it. Oh, well, there is no use now, but people are just selling it because, there's really no reason to hold unless you're crafting potions, which I don't really know why you'd use them. So we want to create some sort of player economy where you can sell those, for example, drug A's or material A, B, C, because the counterpart, they can't get those materials. So because you spec'd into, creating drugs, you cannot touch the metalwork stuff. And people who are spec'd into the metalwork stuff, they cannot touch the, like, drug making stuff. So you'd have to interact with the other part of the community within the marketplace so that you can get their benefits as well. So for example, when you're upgrading your chemistry lab, instead of only upgrading like the basic ones, if in addition you get metalwork materials, so I don't know, material DEF from metals, right? If you have materials DEF and you have materials, I don't know, ABC, and somehow the next upgrade requires all 6 of those, you'd be able to. And the only way you can get those metal stuff is from buying it off of another player. We'll make it so that you can buy it off the Dingos market as well. But those will become untradeable and there will be a hard limit to it. So for example, you can only buy 2 from the Dingos market a day, right? And let's just say in the further levels, like level 10, you need 500 of those. So instead of waiting for 50 days, you can buy it off another player for probably, a little bit more expensive on a price, but you can get it faster. And getting those upgrades will give probably a larger boost to your emissions as well, larger boost to your crafting, and I guess a big part of your play to earn experience. I think one of the major differences so far that I'm trying to really advocate for is that we don't want it to be a stake to earn. Projects like Knights and Peasants, projects like Harmonyville, projects like DFK, while they are amazing, you're not really there's no that's not a really end goal there. It's really just staking your NFTs, staking them, getting rewards, upgrading. There's no game plan, there's no trying to find the materials to craft this. There's no I'd say the gameplay, like quote unquote gameplay, is quite limited right now. And so there's not a really playing aspect to that earning. It's more of just staking to earn. Yeah, I've talked quite a bit, so if Benelohim, you have something to say, go ahead.
Yeah, so it's basically, in a way, it's just play, earn some materials, craft some materials, sell it to other people, or upgrade yourself. Buy from other people to upgrade yourself, to earn more, to play more. That's the whole loop, in a way. I think this is going to be very efficient. Lots of MMORPGs that I worked in use this system to create this player economy as well. So I think we're going to be able to implement it, but it is going to be very heavy on deciding different factors on what goes where, who's going to be earning how much, what kind of professions there are, and all that. So hopefully we are going to come up with a stable system that is not overpowered for any professions. But it's also going to be very focused on our open game, for our open world, and open our own. I can't talk. For our own game, and it's going to be very unique to us because we really want to highlight the world as well. To say the least, because like Bonbon is also here right now. He created a beautiful world. Our artists are amazing, and we want to showcase every part of this great work. So it's going to be a fairly stable economy with a fairly beautiful world. So yeah, sum it all up.
That was a really good summary of all the fluff that I just said. But yeah, that's how we plan to innovate. From what we've seen in this space, that's something that the direction that I've wanted to head on. Um, in terms of innovation. In regards, because this comes up quite a bit, in regards to owning multiple Dingos, I'd say per wallet, you're gonna only be able to play with one Dingo. I think we should just make it a hard, fast rule because, just like in MMOs or in different games like these, in owning different characters is not. It's like you have that one really special character that has like super high damage, and then the other characters are just like, oh, I wanted to try out this new class, I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that. And then this also prevents people from just you know buying off things from themselves. So like if I logged in with Dingo A, I can spec into drug making, and then Dingo B I can spec into metalworking, right? And then that just makes the whole community marketplace void. I also wanted to iterate that to prevent that from happening, one of the major things that we're probably going to do is that there's not going to be the ability to private sale. So in DFK, for example, you can sell your hero to a private address. But on here, we probably won't let you do it because what happens is that people are just going to cheese it. I'm going to create two wallets, since I can play both on one. And then I'm just going to sell it for myself for 0.1, dingo tokens and then whatever, right? We're going to prevent that by doing no private sale, probably. But again, this is all just theory crafting for now. There's nothing set in stone. I wanted to touch on like what are the benefits of holding multiple dingos then, because there are people who have more than one dingos, and the way that I've seen the way that I want to use those multiple dingos is that it adds a boost to your emissions, for example. So let's just say a person has 10 dingos, right? One dingo is going to be the playable dingo, and then the other 9 dingos, what they can do is they can either sell it on the secondary marketplace. There's no plans on renting yet, so we don't know how to, because renting is going to probably be a fickle thing within our game design. I don't really see how renting could work. We obviously don't endorse slavery, so dingo renting is kind of weird. But yeah, so what I was thinking is that we can stake it, like just like your good old stake to earn. So for example, in your chemistry lab, we're gonna allow you to maybe stake up to 3 dingos, right? And each dingo adds a bonus of 5% efficiency or 5% speed. And then that will allow you to print faster and probably get you more emissions compared to other people who only have one dingo. I use the word efficiency a lot because I've been playing a game called Legends of Eidolon, and that's a really good game, and it's something that I'm basing off the game design of. And basically, in terms of your foraging, your metalworking, all these specifications, or this, it's not gonna be just okay, I'm gonna be able to gather materials, that's it. It's gonna be a tiered system, it's gonna be a level up system. Just like in MMOs, when you just start off, you're always level 1. I'm level 1 foraging. Okay, once I've foraged quite a lot, once I've done a lot of drug making, that level increases, and my efficiency or my ability to get higher tiered foraging stuff increases. And so let's just say after playing for a month, you're now level 5 foraging. Now level 5 foraging, instead of just being able to get more of the lower tiered materials like material A, I now have access to higher tiered materials like material, I don't know, K or something, right? Material K now, it required, let's just say 500 efficiency. Now I'm past that, I can do it. And then let's just say material Z requires 1000 efficiency. That's going to take me a few more months of grinding. Grinding every day gives me level experience to level up, or I can use my drugs and I can use my materials to craft something. So probably it'd be like material A, B from foraging and material A, B from metalworking. Combine them together, and I can craft I don't know, foraging gloves or something that increases your efficiency by 10%, or it can be gives you a flat efficiency of 250. And then that helps you get to your goal of reaching the next material level, which in turn helps you to get a better drug level, which in turn allows you to earn even more DG tokens from the marketplace. That was a mouthful, but that's basically what we want you to do. Upgrade, get to higher tiers, more emissions, more play to earn. In the long run, we're already starting to create it, but we're also going to adopt, like, in terms of ways of funding the DG marketplace, is to adopt loot boxes. And just like, CSGO cases, it'd be something like that. It'd just be cosmetics. It's going to cost really cheap. It's not going to be anything like, it's not going to be like 500 won. Like minting a new NFT, it'd probably be like 10 won, 5 won, things like that. Like, I don't know, 5 DG tokens, depending on how much DG is worth. It can also even cost materials. So for example, if I have an excess amount of drug A because I'm now, farming drug Z, I don't need drug A anymore. I'm not selling it to the marketplace because I can only have a limit of 5. So I'm selling all my drug Zs. What am I going to spend my drug A's on? I'd probably be spending them on loot boxes, and loot boxes are going to give me cosmetics, or, like, for example, we have a When Lambo partnership, right? So if we have When Lambo partnership, why not have the ability to have different types of Lambos within the game? You can put in your materials, roll for a chance of getting a Lambo and stuff like that. In terms of foraging and like metalworking and all that, if you are currently foraging, we also want to have a drop table. So probably like 99% of the time you're going to be getting the whatever you're foraging. So for example, material A, but then there's going to be that 1% chance where you're super lucky and then you get something that boosts your foraging by 1%. We don't want to make it OP or anything because it's just a chance of luck. And it's not going to be pay to win because it's going to be locked into your account. You cannot transfer it out. If you have a duplicate, for example, it's going to be automatically converted to an additional of that material or additional of DG tokens. But when you equip that equipment, it's going to be bounded to your wallet and you cannot transfer it out. Or we're just going to make it bound to your wallet when you forage it, I guess. So these are all ways that we're trying to implement like a loop within the economy itself as well. When you sell, for example, your materials from metalworking to people in foraging, it needs the game needs a cut to happen. Just like DFK Marketplace takes like a 3.5%, I think, cut of the jewels that goes into each sale. We'd probably have to adopt a similar style just so that we can keep the marketplace where we're emitting DG tokens afloat. And I just want to say it outright. We won't have pool liquidities in Dingos itself. If we do have pool liquidities, it will be outside of Dingos. So, for example, when you go look at DFK, you can see. There's a emission pool for Jewel and Wand, Jewel and whatever token crystal. But we won't have that in Dingos. But for example, if we one day collaborated with Jewel, we won't have that within the game. But if you go to DFK, you'll see our pool there, and that will probably emit whatever it emits. But we will not have a pool that emits Dingo tokens because that's not what we're trying to achieve. We're not just staking LP tokens for more tokens. We want a serious play to earn mechanic. Yes. Any questions? If anyone wants to ask about anything they've heard so far, or any feedback or any criticisms on what you think, what I've said, maybe I'm going off the top of my head thinking it's really good, but
Yeah, I think we can move forward.
Yeah, no question. Okay. I guess I'll just go through these questions on AMA questions. So Rocky asked, are graphics gonna improve in the future? Can the blockchain have games like in PS5? Okay, so this is a problem that we have as well currently, is because WebGL, I guess Bonbon can talk about this more if he wants to talk. Raise your hand if you do, by the way. But WebGL has limitations in how much it can, I guess, run. So we can't run super high graphics on the game in WebGL. And for our main game, unfortunately, we cannot do WebGL. I think our game is just too large of a scope to work in WebGL. And so there needs to be a downloadable game for it to run. And obviously, we're going to have to get that audited before we release anything that needs to be downloaded, because downloading things is scary online, especially from a game perspective. If it's not on Steam, then you probably are afraid of getting it installed on your computer, right? I like this question here by Sansa, like future of Harmony and GameFi projects. I talked this with Benelohim in the sense that Harmony Harmony is a bit of a fickle thing, in the sense of like it doesn't have a lot of people inside of it. There's not really a lot of money coming into Dingos, or not a lot of, because it's not a lot of money, there's not a lot of people who want to come into Harmony. And so how would that affect our player base in the future if, for example, compared to Ethereum, or compared to Phantom, or compared to Polygon, or even AVAX, all these chains have a lot of eyes, but in Harmony, those eyes are missing. No one's really coming in to look at different projects. If you go to all those projects and you look at their member list, it's all the same people from all the other projects. And so it's a really difficult thing, because I really believe that we're creating something that's phenomenal and something that will be really, really fun to play. So if we don't have the eyes for it, or if we don't have the people for it, it's going to be difficult, I guess, to keep it afloat.
I feel like everyone on Harmony is just an alt of Clio.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, this was a concern for a while. I mean, with how Harmony protocol is going, with how Harmony Foundation is giving out grants and then just doing weird stuff, it was a concern, not like to be transparent fully. And Harmony, it's a fast chain, no doubt, but its sharding is what brought a lot of people in. But if you can't run your network efficiently, sharding is even worse. So there's a lot of concerns on our side as well on these, but I think what we should do is that we should really evaluate our options. Like my biggest obsession with chains is that they are low gas fees. So either non-existent or really, really low gas fees. And obviously, from a builder perspective, building in a chain where there are a lot of investors and there are a lot of eyes in is always the better option. But we have a lot of friends here on Harmony as well. Like I'm in two different projects, both in Harmony. So yeah, we need to consider what we're trying to do, what are our goals, and how welcoming other chains are going to be, because going to another chain is basically means being open to a whole other set of community. So we should consider, we'll probably circle back to our community as well a lot of times, but internally we should consider on what we're trying to do, what are our goals, and if Harmony can achieve these. I think that's the best way to go, really.
Yeah, I do think sometimes, because of Harmony's, past, I wouldn't say failures, but downfalls, I guess, and on some of the RPC issues, for example, it kind of puts a limitation on what we can kind of do with the game and stuff. So yeah, we kind of don't want, if possible, we don't want to get limited by something that we can't control, I guess.
Yep, that's the fun.
Um, so in terms of the roadmap, Mookie, this is something that we made quite a bit time. We've basically created all the Q1 things as we finish Q1. Released the prologue with that guest tutorial mini game kind of thing, doing all the quests and stuff. So that's done. Um, the open world we have started, courtesy of Bonbon. I think we are working on the multiplayer version now. Excitingly, we also got a new Unity dev today, courtesy of Benelohim. So that's that. Yeah. And then what else was I gonna see? Let's see if there's any questions here. Um, Permafrost, I know you're in here still, but do you think I've answered the how like a rough rundown on the Dingos economy? Like, or do you think you want me to elaborate more or something? But in regards to the second question, whether you're good or bad won't influence your emissions because um, it will be equal. It will be as equal as possible.
Yeah,
That's what
but
we're trying to
we
strive.
do plan to integrate some faction wars type of events. So maybe if some side wins some events, maybe that side will be earning a tad bit more, or it will be different items, different stuff. It's just going to be distributed. But yeah, usually it's more going to be on how you're going to represent yourself on the Dingo world rather than being a reflection of your economic earnings.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great way to answer it. Um, in I think that's all that we've got in terms of upcoming game topics and stuff. Um, just on the marketing side or on the what we're doing next side, we're waiting on a reply on the Harmony grant from the officials, I guess, on how they want to go. We got the Harmony grant going, which is great. We have another AMA on Friday, which is it's listed or it's not listed on the events tab yet, but I will put that up. It's gonna be an AMA with MTOP. Um, if you guys have any like projects you want to see on the next AMA, feel free to say it in chat or just DM me or whatever. Be more than happy to consider things. But yeah, so that's it for now.
That's
Hmm?
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, like,
other than that,
uh,
speed running contest is still running. So if you can complete the quests in really fast times, post it in the speedrun submission channel, and then we'll verify it, and then we'll pin you if you are number one.
yeah, I'm just hoping that we have few different decisions to make. That's for sure. But I'm hoping with the help of the guys here and with the help of the community, we're going to make good decisions about everything related to the game.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. I completely agree with that. I guess we can sign off here.
Yes.
Thanks for listening. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.